Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm doing a couple of projects for Spellbinders. Spellbinders is celebrating a brand new release to the shop, and this is called The Great Big Wonderful World by Sharon Sowell. So the two dies that I'm using are part of this collection. This here is called Love Grows. Beautiful die. It covers a complete A2 size card front. So I just love that. And then it has it's a 4-piece set, so the sentiment, and then there's 2 flourishes that cut out with that as well. I'm also going to use today the Butterfly and Flora die set. Well, this is just one die, but it packs a lot of punch. It's beautiful, has a little heart background with a butterfly, and so we're going to create 2 projects with both of these. We're going to jump in and get started. I have a piece of white cardstock, and I removed my dies, and I kept the so much and then the 2 flourishes that go in the banner. I kept them inside. I just taped them down. We're going to die cut that out with the sentiment in there, and then taking another piece of white cardstock, I'll remove the so much and the flourishes and die cut out another one. This is just going to give me a plain panel. Now I thought we'd go full-blown elegant, so I'm taking a piece of gold cardstock and I'm going to die cut out my the main panel again with gold. I thought the gold in the background of that sentiment would be just beautiful. So just using my glue, we'll go around my panel here, and then once we have the glue all over, we're going to offset it just a little bit. When you offset it, I love that because the gold peeks out and it just adds elegance to it. Super pretty. Okay, we're going to set that aside now. I wanted to add a little color, so we're going to use some Copic markers to color in just the floral images that are in this background panel. That's the reason why I actually die cut out an extra panel. Now you could complete this or completely skip this step and just color directly on the panel that we glued to the gold one. But I like the added dimension that this is going to give, and so that's why I die cut an extra panel out. But starting with my R83, it's a real pretty soft rosy pink. I'm going to go over my love sentiment and also all the rosebuds, and then I'm going to add a little bit of shading using a darker rose. This is a R85. And for my sentiment, I wanted it to be light on the top, dark on the bottom. So I'm just using my R85 on the bottom of my sentiment. Once we have all of our shading, I'm going to go back in with my R83 and just blend everything so it's seamless. Now on the very top, and then there's a few on the bottom, there's a different style of flowers. So I thought we'd go in with some reds. Starting with R37, I'm going to go over each one of those flowers, and then I will do a little shading with my R59. So we have some pinks and reds. We're going to make a Valentine's Day card, and it's kind of a very versatile Valentine's Day card that could be given to anyone because the sentiment is a little bit general. But once we have these flowers all blended together, I think these colors are just so pretty. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to separate the flowers from this panel here. I just want the colored in images, so I'll cut out all the flowers, the rosebuds, and then the sentiment that says love. And then using my glue, I'm going to attach those flowers to my panel that has the gold. Now, I already offsetted the gold piece, so I'm going to offset these as well. So when you look at it, you're going to see 3 different layers. At least when you have the flowers on there. You'll see the gold first, then you'll see the white, and then you'll see the colored flower. And I just think this adds a lot of dimension to a somewhat a one level panel. So this is one way to layer up your dies here. I'm going to do the same thing with my love sentiment. We'll just glue that down on top, and again we're going to offset it just a little bit. So pretty and super duper easy. And we can keep that piece for another card too. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take some foam tape and we're going to add a little bit more dimension by covering the entire back with foam tape, and then we'll just take this and place this on an A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now it was fairly easy to add foam tape behind this because since we offset everything, you had a little more space, so you didn't have those very intricate lines when you offset. So it was easy to add foam tape too. Now for a little bit of sparkle, a little extra sparkle, I'm going to go in with some Nuvo Jewel Drops. These are called Gold Coast, and we're just going to add a couple drops of gold on the red flowers. And then that finishes off my first project. Super duper easy. And if you guys want to see close-ups too, you can go visit my blog. You can see some still shots over there. Now for my second project, we're going to be using the Butterfly and Flora Die. It's so pretty. I did the same exact thing. I cut out 2 white panels and 1 gold. We're going to layer this white panel on top of the gold, offsetting it just a little bit so that gold is peeking out. Lovely. So pretty. Now to add a little color, I'm going to use the red markers that I used in my first project, the R37 and then the R59. Now I'm only going to color in the butterfly. Starting off with my R37, we'll go over the butterfly here, and then we'll do a little shading with the R59. And then for the base, I sped it up really fast, but I kept it in. But for the base of the butterfly and also for the butterfly's antennae, I used my C6, a gray. And I think that looks beautiful. I'm going to take my scissors and just snip out my butterfly. And if you want to use the negative piece left over for a card too, you have that beautiful heart that's in there also. So there's my butterfly. Now for my background, I'm going to do a little blending with some Distress Oxide ink. Oh, I am going to add some sparkle to my butterfly. I'm using some Sparkle Shimmer Spritz. We're just going to spray that a few times and set that aside to dry. It's going to give a nice little added sparkle to our butterfly. So the oxide ink that I'm using is spun sugar. I'm going to go over the entire background. Now that I cut out a piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock that's going to fit right behind my panel there. But it's not going to go up to the edge. I did add a little bit of worn lipstick because I thought it was a little bit too light, but I ended up taking it off later on. Okay, for my card base, I just trimmed down, I pre-score and pre-cut my card bases to A2 size. So all I did was just trim off the bottom half to create a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch square note card. I went ahead and taped down my panel to my note card base there, and now we're going to add foam tape behind this panel. And again, it's super easy because since you did offset it a little bit, that you have extra area to add foam tape to. Once we have all of our adhesive placed, I thought that pink was just a little bit too pink when I added the gold, so I'm taking a baby wipe and I'm just blotching it, and it gives a really neat effect actually. It pulls the color away, lightens it up, and then it adds texture at the same time. We'll go ahead and add our panel. Lovely. I like the lighter pink pretty, and that heart's so pretty. Okay, butterfly is dry, so I'm just going to adhere the butterfly body. I want the wings to be a little bit fluffy, a little bit dimensional. So just gluing down the body, I'm going to offset my butterfly just a little bit so you can see that gold still. Now I did go ahead and stamp a sentiment that I had in my stash. This one says, "You're one of a kind." I thought it went perfect with that single butterfly. And for a little sparkle, we're going to go in with some Nuvo glitter drops. These are Gold Coast again, the same ones we used for card number 1. And that finishes off my second project. So these dies are part of the Great Big Wonderful World collection by Sharon Sowell, and it is a beautiful collection. Today Spellbinders is having a blog hop to celebrate it. I'll leave a link to the Spellbinders blog down below in the description area. If you want to start at the beginning, it's always a great place to start. So encourage you to check it out. Fantastic inspiration with this collection. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. We'll see you again soon.